Spurs really ran it a lot, and would be able to get that wide open three in the corner. But I feel like people have been running that hammer action so much now that that's
You
where
know it's coming.
people sniff it out, you know.
But not only that, but like that's something to run in the third. Like I said, middle of the game when you can catch a team off guard. But end of game when you line up like that, when Klay Thompson or Andrew Wiggins was coming to set that screen on Brown. Brown was like, "Oh, yep, switch.
Yeah.
AD, stay down."
And do you think that was LeBron knowing their play call, or do you
Yeah,
think it was? Do you think it was he was like, oh, I think a hammer action might be coming here because they need a three.
I think the way it was set up the first time, like he kind of knew, but at the same time, late game like that, you gotta know they're gonna switch shooters. You have to know that.
Yeah. The one I really liked was in the bubble when Kuzma hit that three to win the game or to send it to overtime or whatever, where it was like it was sideline out of bounds, and
Hmm.
they entered it to Anthony Davis, I think, or LeBron at the post or like that short corner. And then Kuzma came and set just a little slip T screen for whoever the inbounder was. I can't remember who
Yeah.
it was. And he slipped right to that corner, and it was a miscommunication and drilled
Oh
that
yeah, I
tray.
know. Yeah. Was that against the Nuggets?
Yeah, I want to say it was.
Oh yeah, no, I know what you're talking about.
He like, I don't know. Do you know what I'm talking about with a T screen, or
Yeah,
some people call it a split
yeah,
action, like on a
yeah, I know
post
what you're
touch?
talking about.
That like that dude that feeds the post, he goes and screens for the guy on that slot or on that top spot. You
It's
know?
just, yeah, I just said it all day. Like Steve Kerr got lazy there. I feel like they just got lazy with that play call.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I want Steph Curry to shoot that shot. I don't care. I don't care if the dude
Yeah.
is 3 for 14 from three. I want him shooting the last shot,
Yeah,
or at least getting the shot up.
ideally you want to get him a look, or Klay Thompson a look, but yeah, I agree with you. Disguising it a little bit better, running a different action
Hmm.
that you've practiced. That's one thing, dude. I was thinking about this. Like, some coaches will get on their players for not executing at the end of the game
Hmm.
when it's drawing up a play that they've never practiced or that they've never ran before.
Yeah.
So what do you like? What are your thoughts on that in the sense of like, as a coach, can you ask your players to, you know, be able to execute something with the timing, the screens right, the angles right, all that type of stuff when you're just drawing it up on a board and you've never like really ran through it?
I think if you can explain it, if you can explain it well in that quick amount of time, because you probably have a 30 left at that point. Yeah, I'm thinking
Yeah.
college. I'm thinking college ball. A 30 left. You have to be able to explain that like to a T. But at the same time, like you should always practice that kind of stuff. So we would practice plays like that. We would find a couple actions, and on scout day, the last scout day, we would run that with our guys. Like, hey, I want you to do
Mm-hmm.
this here, here, and here. Like, let's keep these in the back of our mind. That way, when we're drawing it up, you're like, oh yeah, this is how it's supposed to be ran. At least prepare them
Mm-hmm.
a little bit, even though you may never run the play all season.
Yeah.
But they know, like, okay, yeah, I know what this action is. But at the same time, like, all those actions should be a part of your system too.
Ooh, I agree with that. Yes.
Because if you're telling a team to set like a hammer screen and that's not a part of like, if that timing isn't a part of your system, then that's going to be
Mm.
hard for them to understand, I think.
Yeah, I like that and that probably would help with disguise a lot more too. Like if it looks like a lot of other entries or a lot of other plays you run, um, and then it comes back with a counter, for that
Hmm.
look that you're wanting at the end of the game or whatever it might be. So, no, that's a good point, dude. Like, but I was thinking about that because you know, coaching some of these cats, you know, in the past few weekends, it's like I'll draw something up on the board like that I want them to execute, and then it won't happen. And I just remember like, man, we've
ran anything like
never
this.
even gone through that. So I don't know if
Hmm.
I can be too upset about it, but
I think as well, like one thing coaching taught me, and this is going to sound probably a little nerdy for a Queen City Classic tournament, but I had a little piece of paper in my pocket, like of a couple plays. I was like,
call
okay, if
sheet.
it comes down to it, I'm going to pull this out so I don't have, so I'm not sitting here like, what do I want to do? Let
Yeah.
me just have a couple things that I like and I see that, okay, we can run this real quick and I can draw it up real fast and everything like that. I think that's one thing
Hmm.
that I learned, just being prepared.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. And especially just keeping, I've seen some coaches do like if it's man, like they'll categorize it if it's man. This is for like an extensive call sheet. Like if you
Mm-hmm.
have 15, 20 plays, if it's man and they're, hedging ball screens hard
Uh-huh.
or, trapping ball screens, these are the plays we go to. Or if
Mm-hmm.
they're in drop coverage or if they're switching everything, like I've seen people really break it down. So but I think that helps keep you on your toes as a coach to look for the way teams are guarding ball screens or the way teams are um, switching all over the place or whatever it might be.
Oh, I totally agree on that. I mean, and that shot me in the foot in that tournament because when we got zoned, I honestly didn't know what to do because I was like, damn, every single team that I've ever been on or coached could have someone that could really just light it up against the
Shoot that
zone.
thing.
And I didn't have that really when we went and played. Like we were struggling, so I'm like trying to figure out a way to get the ball inside it. We figured
Mm-hmm.
it out, we figured it out together, but it was one of the things like, damn, man, I don't know. This is gonna take a minute. Hold on, guys. Like,
Mm-hmm.
let me try and figure this out because
It's
you're
a
like the
little,
offensive and defensive coordinator out there.
yeah, it's a little trial and error at that point. Like, let's send somebody to the high post or let's, ball screen the top or whatever it might be. Like, you kind of just
Hmm.
got to try out a few things and whatever's working, keep rolling with it.
Hmm.
On that note, let's welcome the people to Kitchen Hook Podcast, episode 13.
Yes,
Um,
sir.
just by ourselves this week after a couple weeks of fantastic guests. Um,
Hmm.
but, we got
Absolutely.
a few things on the docket. Bush had a couple things, but wanted to talk a little bit about NBA playoffs. But,
Yep.
Bush, how are you, dude? I didn't even ask you.
I'm good. Today was a rough day. I was in my feels last night. Straight up, that game they when Steph threw up that 40-footer and he missed it, dude. I didn't look at the TV screen for like a minute and a half. My face was in my hands. I sat out in the living room like, man, like we really just blew an opportunity to go back and have a chance to go up 3-2 and really probably take control of the series, but they wanted to do it the hard way, I guess. So,
I know that's true because I remember in King Street, you would be down in the dumps sometimes, and it was about like a Lakers loss or like I don't know what else, maybe North Carolina loss, but like I know you take those L's hard when you're rooting for your squad.
that the hardest loss I took was when North Carolina lost in the Natty to Villanova. I remember when
Jenkins.
you and Nick were in my room. I went from up here, like the highest of highs that you could ever have in sports, and then
Mm-hmm.
rock bottom like that in 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Bam, rock bottom. And I just remember I put my head in my pillow for a good 5 minutes. Like, did that really just happen? I have to live with these assholes on King Street now. Them knowing that I'm the one Tar Heel fan here.
Oh man. I just ran down the stairs. I remember I just took off down the stairs.
coldest game winner in national championship history,
and
but it
and
had
Jay
to be.
Wright and Jay Wright was just a boss through the whole
Oh,
thing. Just watched it go in and just strutted his stuff up the sidelines and shook
he's
hands.
he said bang. He said bang when
Yeah,
Jenkins
yeah.
released it. Bang.
Bang.
Right when he released it, bang. Didn't get affected by anything. I was like, man, you're a boss. But I wish he was still in coaching. He
But
left.
the real quick, Bush, what we were just talking about of having that scenario practiced.
Hmm.
I remember I think it was Kenny Smith was talking about it afterwards, and he was saying that they've for sure practiced that. Like I
Oh,
guarantee you they've practiced that specific boom, cross the midline, flip it back to the trailer, three ball. Like and
yeah.
now I think that was they knew exactly what shot they were getting, and it was just a matter of if this dude was going to hit it or not.
Hmm. They came out. I think they in the post game interviews, Jay Wright. So we practiced that almost every day. We practiced
Oh, did he?
end of game such scenarios every day, and I'm like, that's a
Mm-hmm.
great coach because that's one thing that I players want for one love that stuff, but you do got to take it
Mm-hmm.
serious. But like, it's so good to know like, hey, 2 seconds on 3 seconds on the clock. This is what we're gonna do. Don't panic. You've ran it a million times. Just shoot the ball.
Mm-hmm.
The look's
Yeah.
gonna be there.
Yeah, and it's much more crisply executed when it's practiced, and
Hmm.
when you're all on the same page of what shot and what look you're gonna get.
So
Excuse me.
I want to. I know you haven't watched a whole lot, but with the Heat being up 3-1, Boston and Philly are 2-2. Philly looking like they're gonna
Mm-hmm.
3-2 lead. Nuggets, Suns 2-2. Warriors, Lakers. Lakers are up 3-1. Who do you see in the conference finals?
Well, we were. I don't know if we'd started recording yet, but maybe Steph and I would like to believe Steph and Clay and the Warriors will flip the script on the 3-1 coming back from 3-1 thing on LeBron, but um, next game is in Golden State. They're
Yep.
they're at home, so I see them getting that one. It's just a matter of if they get that one on the road, and then obviously Game 7.
Mm.
But they did it against who did they just play in the
The Kings.
first, the Kings? Yeah, they got it done on the road when they needed to, and um, again, it's kind of that back to that conversation we had one of these episodes of they've been there before. They know what it takes to get it done in those situations. So, but with that being said, I don't think it's going to get done. I think LeBron still has his chess pieces moving the right way. I think he's
Hmm.
still doing the right things. But man, with the way Miami's playing, I can't go against Miami right now, man.
No,
I'm going Miami.
they're balling. Miami. So
Mm-hmm.
who do you got out of the Boston and Philly series? Who do you think's gonna win that?
The Celtics and Phillies, or
Yeah.
Celtics and Sixers.
Knowing,
um,
just let me give you this one. Boston probably going to go up, or Philly probably going up 3-2 because with 8 minutes left, they're up 98
yeah,
to 81.
yeah. I was just about to say, with Philly winning this game, I think they're gonna win it.
Yeah.
Um, I just I don't see Boston getting over that hump, and it's like I feel like Boston. This is kind of a tangent, but I feel like Boston is that team, kind of like you were talking about with the Kings, that's still trying to figure out how to get over that hump of really, really good NBA team and championship NBA team.
Yeah. I agree. I
And
agree on that.
I think they ran into the MVP, and I see your notes here. Vintage James Harden. So that's a tough duo right there.
Oh, absolutely. When he's
I got to
scoring,
look
dude,
up
you
that.
can't beat him. I got Heat Philly in that one because I got Philly in the finals.
Okay.
I do. Out of the East, West. I can't back out now. I got the Warriors coming back, winning in 7 games. Shaq said it
Oof.
best. Shaq said it best last night, gave me hope. He said the champs ain't they're champs for a reason. They're not gonna lay over. You know, they've
That's a
been here
fact.
before. They've been down 3-1, they've lost 3-1. So this is a full circle moment for Steph and the boys to put Braun back where what he did to them in 2016. And then
Yes, indeed.
I think they'll end up facing Nikola and the Nuggets in the conference finals. And I think out of that one, I think the Nuggets are just going to be too good.
Really?
I think the Nuggets. I think this is the Nuggets' year, man. I do.
I've been wanting to believe that a little bit, honestly. I think they've obviously hit a little speed bump. It's 2-2 in that
Yeah.
series, but um I want to believe they can get it done. They drew a tough one with Phoenix in that
Mhm.
second round, like especially
Absolutely.
obviously with adding KD and um
Yeah.
where Phoenix has been in recent years. They drew a tough semifinal
And the way
matchup.
Booker's playing right now, dude, he's in 9 games, 37 points per game, 7 assists, 5 rebounds on 62% from the field. That has never been done by a guard ever.
And 51% from three.
That is He missed. He was 33 of 41 at home. That boy did not miss. That was nuts.
He's a certified scorer. You know what I mean?
Yes,
Like I feel
absolutely.
like there's very there. Well, I shouldn't say very few guys in the league. I feel like in this league now, there's some certified scorers in the league for sure. Um, but he's one of them, I think.
Hmm.
So you got importance of KD being on the floor. I got an idea of what that means to me. What does that mean to you?
Okay. I just think it's opening everything up for D Book. Like before KD, Booker was the one getting double teamed, and now
Mm-hmm.
it's teams fear Kevin Durant more than they truly probably fear Devin Booker right now. And
Yeah.
KD draws that attention. He's going to draw the best matchup every night, best defender every night. That's who they're focusing on. I think, and that's what I meant by that. What did you think I meant by that?
Well, I had a feeling that you were gonna say some of that for sure, but um, obviously us being two basketball guys, but it doesn't. You don't need to be a big basketball guy to know that when you got a 7 foot assassin on the floor, it makes things a little bit easier for you. But on
Hmm.
top of the fact that veteran point guard, obviously with Chris Paul,
He been
is he
hurt.
hurt?
He's
He's
been
hurt.
hurt.
How many games
Yeah,
has he been hurt?
he missed 3 and 4, half a game, two, and they say that he'll be back by game 6.
By game six.
Yeah,
Um, but so who's been playing at the
Cameron
who's
Payne.
been playing the point campaign?
Yeah, which I mean,
Like Chris Paul's protege.
yeah, I mean, he's good, but like I think sometimes he gets a little like out of control. He'll start pulling, and it's like, yo, let's
Yeah,
just
he does do that
get
a
the
little
boys in,
bit.
get the ball to who you need to get the ball to, get the hell out of the way, and let them go do their thing.
47 for Devin Booker in game 4
Look at the free throws.
and 39 for KD.
I think the most impressive about that 47 piece is D Book shot 2 free throws, and they're at the end of the game.
Really? Yeah, I
That's
mean he went
crazy.
20 of 25 from the field. That's insane.
That's the most. That's so efficient to me.
So you think, but real quick on this series, still, you think the Nuggets are going to get past Phoenix?
Yeah, I think they get it tonight. I think it goes 6. I don't think. I think it's.
Mm,
I like Mike Malone as a coach, man. He wants this one so bad, and he's holding these guys accountable in huddles and stuff like that. I remember game 1, they let it slip a little bit, and he said, if we're serious about this, like if we are honestly serious about a championship, then go act like it. Stop fooling
yeah,
around, play some defense, and let's go do what we want to do. You know,
yeah.
I just like how he holds guys accountable.
No, I think that's true for sure. I just think I gotta see him get past the Suns, and then I'll believe it. I think if they get past the Suns, I think they're getting to the finals.
Hmm.
Um, but this is their toughest draw, if you ask me.
Yeah, for sure. Um, I forgot to mention that the Warriors series, dude. The thing that disappoints me about them right now is the fact that Klay Thompson is on a roller coaster of good games and then just horrible games.
Yeah.
Jordan Poole is MIA, gone, nowhere to be found,
Hmm. I
and
mean,
that's a
10 minutes last game.
yeah. As
Played
like we
10
said
minutes.
though, he's just so out of control. Like you cannot have him on the court. That's just one of those dudes. It's like he's messing up so bad that's like, man, I can't have him out there. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like and teams are doing a good job of speeding him up. But on the counterpart of that, do you think the Lakers have a legit shot at the championship right now? Because they're favored to win the Western Conference at this point. After last night, they became the favorites.
I'm gonna keep saying this until it happens. I'm a believer in having Lebron on your team, um, and if that's and him doing what he does, I think you always got a shot. So
Hmm.
yes, I am a believer. Do I think it's gonna happen? No, I don't. I don't think it's gonna happen. I think they're gonna whoever they run into after this series, I think is gonna have too much for them. But yeah, man, I'm a believer that they could get it done.
I think for them to have a legit chance, they have to win Game 5 and get as much rest as possible.
Yeah,
Because after like after every game, dude, these boys look gassed. It's so hard to play the Warriors. Like Bron's playing 40 minutes a game. I mean, he's 38 years old. How much longer can he? How long can he like withstand that? Especially with
does he look like he's running out of gas too?
yes, like true. And I'm not trying to be a hater. I really am not. I'm not.
Hmm.
But last night there was just shots that like he normally hits. He was leaving short, even around the rim. I mean, I know he made great. He took over in the sense of he he had the ball in his hands a lot of the times in the second half. He got that ball screen switch with Steph and would go at him and whatnot. But if they didn't have Lonnie Walker last night in the fourth quarter, the Warriors win that game by 15 or so
I
points.
think, but I think that's what whether it's March Madness or whether it's the NBA playoffs, there are those games where your heavy hitters aren't
Hmm.
hitting, you
No,
know, and
exactly.
you have those guys step up. Like last year for the Warriors, it was Andrew Wiggins,
Hmm.
100%,
Hmm.
throughout the whole playoffs. Um, but I think what sustains a great team, especially in the playoffs when you got to beat a team 4 times, is your heavy hitters at least showing up every night. Like to me, it's looking like Anthony Davis and LeBron are showing up. 27, 9, and 6 for LeBron, 23, 15. You know,
That was the
for
first, yeah, that was the
for
first
Anthony.
back-to-back game that AD really had because he
Mm-hmm.
was up and down too. And like I said with PJ, I think they go as far as AD takes them. Um, oh, what was I gonna say on that? LeBron, I think this year, just sitting back and just watching and observing, I think he's done a better job at putting belief into his guys. Like
Mm,
how do I handle? He said it one day. He's like, how I have to like being a parent has taught me how to handle. Like I can't handle or get on Bryce the same way I get on Bronny. Everyone reacts
mm,
differently. He goes, I took that to basketball. Like I can't get on D'Lo the same way I could probably get on Austin Reeves. I think he's
mm-hmm.
doing a great job of instilling like the utmost confidence in guys. Where in the past it was like, oh my God, I got Brown on my team. I can't mess up. Like I don't, you know what
Mm,
I mean? That's what it felt like at times to me in his past. I think he's doing a great job of just being like a true leader out there. Even though, I
mm,
mean, yeah, he had 27, but he struggled 10 of 25. That's still struggling. And it was just one of those games. The reason I have belief in the Warriors is because yes, they lost the last two games, but they proved in stretches that they can go into the Lakers arena and The Lakers have
Oh
flirted
yeah,
with losing by 20 in their own arena. And so if they could just put it together for 48 minutes as a team, I truly believe that if they win game 5, they can go in game 6 and come back for a game 7. I do.
I
Game
agree with
7 will be
that.
close, though, for sure, if it comes to that point, which I
No, I
doubt it
agree with
will.
that for sure. I think you said it when we first started talking of, oh man, I just forgot what I was gonna say. Oh,
Oh
oh,
man.
the Warriors giving up their lead in these games.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they have, like the last night you said they were up 12 in the fourth. Game two or game whatever, they had leads, but can't do that in the playoffs, and especially
No.
against LeBron. Like he's gonna make you pay if you're giving up your lead.
And yeah, exactly. Because I truly believe that the Warriors are the better team, like the better pieces.
Mm-hmm.
The Lakers have come to terms with they know who they are. They know they're old school. They know that they have to get it done on the defensive end and just grind it out on the offensive end. Get to the free throw line, get inside, get to the paint, and do that. Where the Warriors, I feel like they still think that this is 2017, 2016, where it's like, oh shoot, we can go on these huge 12-0, 14-0 runs, get up by 10, 12 on the road, have a lapse for a minute and a half, and then turn it back on again. They can't do that no more.
Mm-hmm.
They're
Yeah.
getting to, they can't. And last night I was texting Max and his brother in the group chat, and after some point in the late in the third, I was like, man, they got to figure it out again and end the fourth and just put their foot on their throat and just go. Like, just go. Don't let them back in this game because on the road, if you get the crowd involved, we all know how that goes. You
Mm.
could be up by 12 on a team at Colorado Christian, but when that crowd gets involved in that tiny ass arena, like, it
That's a
turns the
fact.
momentum. You know what I mean? Like, it turns the momentum.
Yeah. The Warriors getting it done. The reason I have confidence in the Warriors to be able to do that, and I'm sure that they have confidence in themselves that they did it to the Kings. Um, but that one's going to be fun. I'm going to have to watch that one. I'm going to have to do a better job of watching these playoffs because these are about the time where the games are getting good, and guys are
Hmm.
really, really battling. And also for us hoop nerds and you know, hoop heads, we get to see some of the best coaching adjustments and sets and little wrinkles and stuff in the game. So I got to do a better job of watching them.
Tomorrow, 8 o'clock, tune in.
Tomorrow,
Would be a good one.
I got AAU practice, man.
Uh,
Shoot,
I forgot about that.
it's all right. It's all right.
Joe, oh my lord, Jason Tatum is doing his best to keep him in the game. Jeepers,
Yeah,
but
he's
it's not
hooping.
even it's not even close.
No, it's not
Um,
gonna get done.
no, but okay, well, NBA playoffs. We'll keep talking about this every week, dissecting it. Hopefully
Yep.
next, it's Tuesday, so Wednesday's game 5. Right. Hopefully next week on the next recording, I'm talking about the Warriors in the Western Conference Finals.
They got 3 games by then.
Yeah, this is an every other day
They
series.
will.
That's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying that the Lakers really, if they want a legit chance, they have to get out of this series as quick as possible because
Yeah.
I mean, you have to. It's LeBron James is LeBron James, but he's 38 years old.
The one
He's
I'm worried about is AD.
that too. And even then, if they have to play the Nuggets, dog, Jokic, him having to guard Jokic and then go down and play offense, that guy's gonna be tired.
Yes. Which, real quick, I know we were about to move on, but I wanted to ask you this quick little nugget. Why do you think Vanderbilt's not getting the tick? Because I think those are times Not that he's going to stop Jokic, but he's a good backup if you ask me to put on Jokic.
Let's go back. How many
What's
minutes?
it? What's his deal? He played
What
11
did
minutes last night.
really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, one, I think it's just like how they can't play how the Lakers or not the Lakers, the Warriors can't play Kevon Looney. What's his and two like other dudes were kind of going.
Yeah, he
Jared,
only played 11 minutes. He started, but he played 11 minutes.
yeah. Um, no, I think he just his
Well, I
what
also think, sorry, not to cut you
no,
off,
you're good.
the Warriors are playing real small,
Very small. But
you
I mean,
know,
Jared
so
Vanderbilt was guarding Steph first couple games, but he's such a liability on offense, dude. I'm okay with him shooting the ball. His shot is disgusting. Like it is
yeah,
absolutely disgusting. As one of those dudes, you're like, yeah, wave him off. You shoot. If you hit a
you
couple,
stay around the
screw
rim.
it.
Yeah.
No, I think that's why, and I just think the Lakers really have to counter the Warriors' offense in this series. And they have to have guys out
Mm.
there that they know, like, hey, you can put the ball in the hoop. We need you. Let's get our stops. We can and just try and match them on the offensive end. I think that's the biggest reason.
That's very insightful because I'm thinking matchup wise guarding them, but that's a good point that it might not even be about that. It might be about more of we got to figure out ways to score
hmm
on the other end and keep up with them.
And the last thing I'll say about this, and then we can move on. But the Warriors, the thing I've been enjoying watching in this series is how every single game it's been a new way to attack the bigs or the Lakers because they know Anthony Davis is a rim protector. He's really good and his size affects a lot of stuff. But what they did last night for the first 3 quarters, they put AD in a pick and roll and got him away from the basket and then just sent cutters like crazy. That's
Hmm.
why Steph had 14 assists, but like they got away from it in the fourth quarter, and that really threw me off because I was just sitting there thinking, what are you doing? The one time they ran it in the last minute and a half when they needed a bucket, they got a bucket. Steph went to the lane and got a layup, but they went away from it the whole fourth, and it just turned into
Hmm.
what seemed like hero ball. And I was just sitting there like, man,
Were
this is not
were
you guys.
the were the Lakers guarding it different or what
No,
in the fourth?
they switched twice. All they were doing was they're setting a high ball screen. Whoever was AD or whoever AD or Braun was guarding, they're setting high ball screens, and the Lakers were in a drop coverage. And
Hmm.
so it was allowing Steph to like just get downhill and attack that guy in the drop who's in the drop coverage, and they were sending cutters backside or he's kicking, and it was just frustrating to watch them go away from what was working the whole game because they really were dicing them up. That third quarter, the
Hmm.
Lakers came out on a 10-0 run, took the lead, and then the Warriors called a timeout. And boom, they were up 12 in a matter of 2 minutes, and I was sitting there thinking, okay, here we go. They're gonna win. This is where it is. This is where they put their foot on the throat and go. But obviously that didn't.
Did not.
That
It's Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I love sports, but I hate sports, man. It can put you at the highest of highs, and it'll really just take you down and put you in the lowest points too at sometimes.
Especially when you get invested like you do. Bush really
hmm
gets invested in it.
Absolutely.
I love it.
Um,
What this other topic you wanted to talk about, you take us into that. What do you want um to start with on that one?
yeah, no. So summertime for high school players, and just the importance of it, and what you should do, what are good things to do, and all that. And even like college players who listen to this too. I mean, I know you guys know what to do in the summertime, but there's still things that you can take from this. I think that are important because I think summer is the most important time of your production and your growth as a player, realistically. how much time are you spending in the gym? That's why I started a 10,000 shot club at the high school here. I said, hey, sign your name on it. You have until the beginning of basketball season to complete this.
Mm-hmm.
It's up to you at this point. I'm not going to sit here and force you to make 10,000 shots. I'm going to provide you with what you need. Like I sent you those workouts and it has all the makes. It has everything that they need to keep
Mm-hmm.
track of how many makes they've had. And I'm just trying to start like a culture here, but also trying to build gym rats. Like I want them to be better because I don't think they understand the potential that they have. And I preach it all the time, guys. You both, girls and boys basketball teams could win a state championship next year. Really, realistically, you guys could, but it's a matter of what are you going to do in the summertime where your opponent may be out on the lake having a good time, relaxing, not worrying, not doing anything, all this other stuff. So that's
Mm-hmm.
really what I wanted to focus on for the
Yeah.
last half of this episode.
Um, the big thing that comes to mind is you talk about summer's the time to really improve your game, which it totally is. And there's a saying that there comes a time when winter asks what you did all summer.
Mm-hmm.
And
Never heard that. That's a good one.
it kind of reminds me of it was Damian Lillard. I can't remember who was interviewing him or what the setting was, but he was talking about, and it's actually the outro of J. Cole's song, Punching the Clock, on his album he dropped last year or whatever it was. But he's talking about, in these moments where you come up big, because like how it's Dame time, he's clutch, all that type of stuff. He's like, these moments, he basically is saying these moments are won in the summertime and in conditioning and in the preparation that I did all summer long and my teammates did all summer long in the off season and all that type of stuff. Because in those moments you'll fall if you didn't have that preparation, if you didn't get those reps in. um, the foundation wasn't there to be able to make those plays when it matters most. But to your point, also, my second point was you want to create a culture of it, and with the business I'm starting, calling it sweat equity, hoops training. Sweat equity basically to me just means, did you get in the gym? Did you build that sweat equity in the gym and um, invest in yourself to get your game better and to expand your game? Because if you're not happy with your role, if you're wanting to expand your role or wanting to become the best player on your team, whatever it might be, that doesn't just come with when you step on the floor in tryouts.
Mm-hmm.
But let me ask you this, what's your solution to that, or what's kind of your step process of starting to expand your game? Or if you're feeling like you're not where you want to be as a player, what does that look like to you to start heading in the right direction?
I think one, you need to ask your coach to what they think you need to do better or what you're lacking in. But secondly, it's a perfect time to try new things, do new things that you're not comfortable with doing. If you're not very good at shooting off the dribble, learn how to shoot off the dribble in the summertime in the gym or stuff like that. But it just starts with, all right, I'm gonna get in the gym. I got to get into the gym today. I think a lot of kids at that age, and I don't blame them. Like they want to be a kid and they want to go have
Hmm.
fun with their friends, but are you willing to sacrifice maybe getting up at 5:30 in the morning and getting into the your local rec center or your high school gym at 6 a.m. and spending 2 hours in the gym and lifting weights or stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
because I saw a tweet. There is a stigma out there that with younger players, there's this stigma. Oh, if I lift weights, it's gonna throw my shot off. Oh, if I lift weights, I'm gonna be too. I won't be able to shoot, and that's wrong. It's so wrong. If you can be
Mm-hmm.
strong on the court, like look at LeBron James, man. The dude is a unit out there, and he can still shoot the ball. He can still dribble and do all them things, but it's just he's built that
Well, and
consistency.
I would argue that being stronger and stronger in the right ways.
Hmm.
So this is a whole different can of worms, but if you're wanting to become a better basketball player and you want to do that part by being in the weight room, you got to be training the right ways,
Yes,
and so you're not a power lifter and you're not trying to bench 500 pounds. You're not trying to max out all the time. Like
no,
do exercises and do strength training that translates to your sport and to basketball specifically. But yeah, that's what I wanted to say first of all. But keep going. My bad.
no. To go off that too, like you said, I'm a big fan of of just like of endurance lifting. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Lighter weight, more reps. That,
Mm-hmm.
but also resistance training because when you're out on the court, you're resisting against another human being, and so
Mm-hmm.
can you be strong enough to move someone with your body? Like the biggest thing I'm trying to teach one of these kids is, hey, use your shoulder, use your hip, use those parts of your body to move someone, to back someone
Mm-hmm.
down. But it doesn't have to be sitting there like you're sitting like two walruses on
Leaning,
the
yeah.
just
Just
pounding.
leaning on each
Yeah,
other.
exactly. And that's what like you'll see big guys in workouts just tired, and it just looks like two beached whales just
Yeah,
trying to
just
battle. But
yeah.
but it's learning how to be controlled with everything in the weight room. But like you said, doing it the right way. You have to like research. That's a big thing. If you have the right people around you to do it, then yeah, that's 100 times more
Yeah.
helpful. But research that stuff, and then to
Well, the
bounce
one
off.
thing. Oh yeah,
Go
my
ahead.
bad. Go ahead.
I was
The
gonna say
one.
no,
Go
you
ahead,
got it.
dude. Go ahead. Go ahead.
The one thing that I was gonna say to bounce off what you had is conditioning, and I don't
Mm,
think people, even at the college level, I don't think kids take that serious at all. They think I'm gonna come in during the first week is gonna suck, but it's the conditioning week, blah blah blah. If you come into that already in shape, it's not gonna suck, and you're just gonna power through that with breeze. Like
yeah.
that's why Steph Curry at 35 is able to run miles in a game and not break a sweat. You know,
Mm.
he doesn't look tired in the fourth quarter and whatnot. So
Well, and it's going to expedite that process of getting in shape when season starts, or when
yes,
preseason starts. So you're already going to be able to work on other parts of your game when other guys are getting their wind and they're trying to learn to play while they're tired again and get back into the swing of things just with the basics. You're able to be focusing on more detailed things or areas that you need to work on
hmm
and not necessarily getting in shape. The one thing I want to touch back on that you talked about of kids getting in the gym and just having them get into the gym is, for one, you said talk to your coach. I agree with that. Two is go in with a purpose into that gym. And so what that means to me is truly analyzing your game. And you brought up maybe not being able to shoot off the dribble very well. If that's the case, have a plan of how you're going to work on that. Are you going to work off one dribble? Are you going to work off two dribbles? What's your footwork going to look like when you get into your gather and you're going up into your jumper? Like, those are things that you talked about. Like, I remember that's what I did in the backyard as a kid. Like my parents poured a concrete slab. Shout out Mama Hills and Pops. But that's what I would go do, and that's how I learned to have different movements and different footwork and be able to shoot with, moving to my left and moving to my right, or the footwork when I'm going right to left crossover, or whatever it might be. Those times in the gym or in your driveway or whatever you're doing, even if you're not necessarily getting a workout in, you can still experiment with your game. Because to me, I don't know
Absolutely.
about you, man. Like, those were the funnest times, just being out there by yourself or with a buddy, and you're just practicing different crap all the time.
Yeah.
Like, that's the best thing, if you ask me. And it gets you better and gets you a better feel for the game and how you move.
And to touch that all goes with what you said with purpose. Because I put my name on that piece of paper on the board too, the poster board for 10,000 shots. One, I want to try and like see if they would compete against me and
Yeah.
see who was like, oh
You
shoot,
better
he's.
not let them win, Bush.
But my goal is I want to get it done by the end of July. That's my goal. Is I want
Mm,
10,000 makes by the end of July. And
mm,
my purpose of going into the gym too is not just to make the shots, but I want to get in shape. I want to get stamina up and just stay in shape. So it involves, okay, I'm going to shoot these different moves around the bucket, make 2 free throws, and then I'm going to run down and backs. I'm going to run
mm-hmm,
4 down and backs, touch the line 4 times out of sprint or something like that, and then come down, shoot 2 free throws, and then bam, I'm right back into it. And I told
mm-hmm,
them, I said, there's a reason why this is a mental challenge, because if I can teach my body and my mind to be focused and sharp when I'm tired and I don't want to do it anymore, then in the fourth quarter when I'm dog tired
mm,
and everyone else is tired, it's nothing. It's nothing to me. I know how to play when I'm tired. I'm focused. I'm mentally sharp in those situations because that's what great players do. Is like you said, they have a purpose. They have a plan. And to bounce off your second point of like what you want to do, you don't have to. We said this on the phone before when we were talking about what we wanted to say with PJ, like about our workouts and how sometimes we'll throw in too much in a workout and we'll go back and sit there and be like, man, I feel like we didn't get a real good feel for this specific move, but I
mm,
wanted to get to 2, 3, and 4 drill. It's okay to go into the gym and spend an hour on the same move because you're
mm.
getting better and you're teaching yourself. You're in there with a purpose. It's slow growth. It's not. Rome wasn't built in a day, so I don't need to go through and work on 50 million moves in one day and practice each one twice because
Mm-hmm.
it's not going to go anywhere. And to second that, find as many pickup games as you can and play as much as possible, and that's your time to incorporate those moves.
In the pickup games, just quick note on that. Play basketball in
Yes,
those. Like,
yes, yes.
don't be the 3 point line to 3 point line guy, setting screens, doing stuff like that. You gotta be playing. Bush,
Hmm.
you hit the nail on the head. I wanted to highlight this is um, playing and working at game speed, and so you're ready to play when you're tired, because we both know this. There are times in the game where your best player, he might need a rest, and he's not getting a rest.
Oh,
Nope, you're staying out there, man. Like, you're not coming off the floor, big dog, especially when you start getting into higher levels, whether it's varsity, college, beyond, whatever it might be. There'll be times where you might say, it might be 7 minutes left in the game and it's a 6 point game and you're dog tired and you're looking at coach like, I need a rest. Mm-mm. You're staying in that game. Like, if that's what you want as your role and you want that responsibility, you have to be able to play through those moments.
mm-hmm.
So big kudos to you, man, because that's such a good point of everybody wants to be the man, but they don't want to put in the work that it takes to be the man and to actually be the man in those
Yeah,
times.
exactly.
Um, because like there's a reason Damian Lillard, or there's a reason these killers, like in these situations where they seem like they're always gaming dudes, or showing up big in clutch moments, um, is because they did the legwork to be
Hmm.
able to put themselves in that position.
And you'd be a fool to think that those guys aren't tired. Like
Yeah,
they're tired,
absolutely.
but they know how to push through that wall. They're so locked in that they know how to push through the wall. Game 7, Warriors Kings, full fourth quarter. Steve Kerr, they mic'd him up, and they showed this point in a timeout where he's looked at Steph. He said, "You're not coming out. So
Yeah.
if you need me to call timeout, I will call timeout. But that is your time to get your breath. But you're not
Yeah.
coming out. So
Sorry,
do
buddy.
what you do. I need you in the game, stuff like that. And I think that's just so
Hmm.
important. If you have to look at your coach, or I'm over the keep your hands above your head and show toughness. If you have to put your hands on your knees and get your breath, because that's a proven thing, that's how to breathe. But dude, do it. I don't care. I need you in the
I
game.
quick little nugget here. I don't know if this was a credible source, because I think I saw it on Twitter or TikTok or something, but it said that hands above the head actually isn't as good to get oxygen back in your body.
No,
So, um, there's science for you, okay,
be
here on the Kitchen Hook podcast.
put yourself back into those days, Hills, when you were running the basketball mile and you had your hands above your head. It was like, I can't. Now, coach always says, deep breaths in through your nose, out through your mouth. You'll be fine. Dude, you can't breathe still. Like, I can breathe better when my hands are on my knees and I can get
Mm-hmm.
air to my body. Let me just get my air back and I'll still be fine.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not tired. I just need to get my breath back.
Well, you are tired. You're
Yeah.
trying to get to the point where you can push through a little bit.
Hmm.
Um, but no, it's learning to play at that. I guess my point is you have to learn and to train to play tired when you're tired, and to be able to be effective. So like here's one thing, like we were talking about development stuff, and what you should be able to do is go through. So like we'll go back to the pull-ups, like making shots off the dribble. Let's say you set this goal for yourself. um you got to make 10 dribble pull-ups going left, 10 dribble pull-ups going right. 8 and 9 have to be in a row. Numbers 8 and 9 have to be, or 9 and 10, excuse me, have to be in a
Ooh.
row. Like you're going to get up to a point where hopefully you're working at a pace where I'm dog tired, but I have to make 2 shots in a row. Like to get out of this, I have to make 2 shots in a row. And so there are ways to train yourself to be effective in moments where you cannot get your breath and you still got to produce.
Hmm. I agree. That's, dude, that was like, you hit the nail on the nail right there. I think that is so smart, because if you're just in there, like I said on that sheet, your work, it has to be a workout that I put up here. It's not you coming into the gym dribbling with some BS, throwing up 30 footers. No, that don't count. I don't care if you made that.
Mm-hmm.
It don't count. Are you putting in work at game speed? Are
Mm-hmm.
you tired? Like you said, I always have a thing at the end of the day. I got this from one of my buddies, Michael Cook. His dad made him should make 2 layups in a row, 2 free throws in a row, 2 threes in a row, and if you didn't,
Mm-hmm.
down and back until you do it. And there was the other day I was doing it. I got so frustrated with myself because I was getting to the 3 point line and I would make the one and then I couldn't make. I was missing the next one. So and I was just like, man, come on, like focus, you know what I mean? And it's a mental, doing that kind of stuff, setting those goals, like you said. If you're going to shoot 10 to the right, 10 to the left, 9 and 10 have to be consecutive, or else you have to start over, or something like that. That's
Mm-hmm.
not only training you, but it's not. helping you hold yourself accountable, but mentally you're battling a lot of demons by yourself in the gym. You want to
Battling
be
demons.
done, but you know mentally like I can't be done because if I just skip this, I failed.
Mm-hmm.
And all athletes are competitive, so they don't want to fail on themselves when they're doing that.
Mm-hmm. And that, again, when you want to be put in that position in the season for your high school team or your college team, you better put in the work to be able to be
Hmm.
in that spot.
And oh, go ahead, go ahead.
You're good. You're good. I was about to flip the subject
Oh,
a little
let me
bit,
say
but go
one more
ahead.
thing real quick on that, because I saw a video the other day of one of Damien's postseason workouts. Or it might have been his pre-draft workout or something like that. He was doing sideline to sideline. They're making him run sideline to sideline. He didn't even get a break after he was done. They're like, all right, here's the ball. We're going ball screens to the right, ball screens to the left, pull ups. Here you go,
Mm-hmm.
right into it. Got done with the drill. All right, sideline to sideline. Coming back, ball screen left and right, pull up threes. Sideline, back
Mm-hmm.
again, And is he running at a dead ass sprint? No, but he's still moving. It's not like
But
it's
it's
timed or
pace, yeah.
it's pace. He's pacing himself and he's teaching his body, all right, I'm super tired, but I'm still gonna lock in and make these shots because I in a game when we need it and it's late, I'm gonna be fine. I'm not gonna be worried about that. I'm already prepared.
License to Lillard is on YouTube, I believe. You can watch it for those listeners as well. It was, yeah, pre-draft stuff. That might have been what you saw, Bush.
Hmm.
License to Lillard. That's a little YouTube series. You should watch that. It's good.
Everyone, every kid that has hoop dreams should watch that.
Yeah. So you brought up before, you brought up, summer, and you brought up in texting when we were texting earlier today. Summer's the time to add to your bag. To me, that means adding a facet of your game that, for one, translates to what you play.
Yep.
Whether you're a guard or whether you're, maybe there's some versatility there in your guard, wing, whatever it might be. But two, that means doing something that translates to the next level or the level you're trying to achieve. And
Hmm.
so one of those things for me is practicing good shots, which, okay, that's very general, but I'll explain here. Are you good off the dribble? Are you a guy around the rim? Are you a guy that, maybe you're serviceable from three, but you want to be more consistent? Starting with catch and shoot, starting with, getting that footwork down to where you're consistent. Like, to me, those are the things where you're adding one, maybe two things to your bag. So you're not reinventing your game in the summer. So I don't want that to be the the message, because your game is your game, and at a certain point it's not going to change a whole lot. It's going to, just like you said, add pieces and add little nuances or whatever it might be. Um, but what does that look like to you, Bush? Like, adding to your bag. So like, you say maybe you went into an off season in high school or whatever. What would you go in to work on for yourself?
Um, I would say for me, junior to senior year was just catching and shooting at a quicker rate. Can I get the shot up
Mm-hmm.
faster? And the second thing was for me was like agility and explosiveness. It's not it was something that I needed. I was a slow-footed person, but that was something that I needed. But
Mm-hmm.
even thinking back, there's times where I would like if I were let's say I was still playing and I was just strictly catch and shoot my junior year, but I was good at it. Okay, keep doing that, keep practicing catch and shoot. But what's my counter now? Everyone knows I'm catch and shoot. I have to be able to, one, be quicker. It'll help set up my cuts and getting open. But two, add a pump fake and then a side dribble, or add a pump fake into a one drill. So, simple moves. Like, I wasn't the type that was going to sit there and hit you with two or three dribble moves and get to the
Mm-hmm.
rim. But how can I get myself an easier shot at the next step or the next level? And the one thing I was going to say on that too, I firmly believe this in all my heart. I don't care how big you are. Add a post game to your game, to what you do. Be able to take your matchup down on the block where you're not going to be guarded by the biggest dude. You look at coach. Hey, coach, I can take this guy on the block. Trust me, I can do it. And you hit him with a couple moves, and it's like, okay, yeah, he can take him on the block. Let's do this for the rest of the game. That's your style of play tonight, and stuff like that. Because if you can score on the block and then you can score on the perimeter, that's going to help you out a lot. You're not one
Mm-hmm.
dimensional, but it helps you just around the rim in general.
I think to me, for like a guy like myself, or like a guy that might not be comfortable with their back to the basket, that looks like going perimeter to post, where
Hmm.
you're faking a handoff and you're going to Barkley into
Hmm.
perimeter to post. Um, the the point I wanted to hit on for you is, you talked about what your counter was going to be if they took away your catch and shoot three. What you said was a extension of what your game already was.
Hmm.
So you kind of just reinforced the point I was trying to make, or hopefully made, of, if you're a guy that goes out, you're strictly perimeter, and you want to develop your float game or your in between game, is that something that fits into your game? Which probably yes, but is working on, getting 12 post touches and going baby hooked, all the time, is that going to work? Is that going to translate to your game or how you're going to be used? No. Um, so, like, the way it fits into your game and the system you're going to be playing in, I think that's got to be hit on the head. But
Hmm.
to your point, is kind of a side a point, is I feel like a lot of players nowadays aren't comfortable playing with their back to the basket. They all
Hmm.
want to face up. Everybody
Hmm.
wants to face up, and
Bigs even want to face up.
I know that's what I mean. Like, that's what's crazy, is you don't see a lot of kids that develop true post footwork until maybe a little bit later.
Uh-huh. I think the biggest thing on that, you gotta watch like the greats at that. Watch the old school Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, all these dudes that have amazing footwork down low. Kyrie Irving, footwork guys. Because footwork is so important. If you move your feet right, you're gonna give yourself a bigger advantage. And to like your point, I'm not like having that stuff is important. Working on your float game here and there is important because you never know when you're gonna get a cut and you catch it. Oh shoot, I gotta float this thing up. I'm comfortable with it. But it's like it's baby steps is what we're saying right
Mm-hmm.
here, right? Don't it doesn't need to be. Oh, I got to work on my floater today. I got to work on my post game today. I got to work on
Yeah,
my
yeah.
catch and shoot. Dude, you are overloading yourself. Pick a couple things. Okay, this is what I want to be good at next year, but I'm gonna have these other things that I can work on every 2 days out of the week. That's refreshing myself with it. If needed, that's ready, even though that's probably not gonna be somewhere where I score,
Mm-hmm.
right? And everyone's game's different. I think if you can establish what you were or what you are currently, if you're a catch and shoot guy, watch how Klay Thompson gets open. How does he move around? How does he use that shot fake side dribble to because that dude is so basic. He doesn't have the dribble bag like people would say. You're not going to see Klay
Mm-hmm.
Thompson cross someone over and drop him, but
Maybe
he's
back in
able,
the day. Maybe back in
yeah,
the day.
but he's able to take a pump fake and then shoot it. Or like the other day,
Mhm.
did you? Someone broke this down. Lethal Shooter, where he caught it right here and just flicked it up. You know how much
Right up,
skill that
yeah.
takes.
That's ridiculous.
But being able to do stuff like that, it's got to be repetition after repetition, and that's the biggest thing is you can't work on something like we said, can't work on something 10 times and expect to be better at it.
Hmm.
You got to learn and process your body into making sure it's muscle memory.
That's what I tell a lot of my kids I train and coach is um, this 1 hour of working on this stuff is not going to make you better. Like I'm giving you tool because the majority of the hours you're probably in the gym is probably not with me, like hopefully you're getting in the gym by yourself and going and playing somewhere else. But if you feel like you're getting all you need to get better is the hour and a half or 2 hours of practice or with your trainer per week, you're not putting in enough time.
No,
Like
I agree.
it takes the things that you work on with your coaches or with your trainers or whoever you're working with. Maybe it's your mom and dad, I don't know, but you have to work on those things by yourself.
Did you?
It's if
Yeah.
you don't, it's just gonna go right out the window.
And to go right off that one thing, you have to love it. Like you truly have to want it. If you want that, you're gonna go get it. But at the same time, I learned this in sales last year that I really wish I would have learned a long time ago because it's helped me out a lot moving forward in this last year on in the weight room, in the basketball gym. Don't lie to yourself. Like legitly do not lie to yourself because if you're the type of kid that says, "Oh, I want to do this. I'm going to hit the gym here, here and here and then I'm going to do this, this and this." Like, are you really going to do it? Don't lie to yourself. Or don't set unreal expectations for yourself. And that's where I put an honesty thing on the shot chart because I said, don't cheat, be honest. So I don't want to come here and see, oh, okay, so and so's at 5,000 megs. Okay, next time I see him, he better be lighting that thing up. He better
Yeah,
be. I better
absolutely.
see an improvement on that. And
The
if I see the
numbers will
same,
come back.
that's the numbers do not lie. And that's what I said there. I was like, if you lie to yourself on this, it's very evident that you lied to yourself. We're gonna know.
Hmm.
I'm gonna know. But that's the biggest thing is like be honest with yourself, stay true to yourself, and if you really want to get better, if you really want to take what me and Hilgs are saying right here, apply it. Don't just do it for 2 days and be like, oh yeah, I'm doing this for 2 days, I'm gonna get better, and then just third day, I don't feel like going to the gym, I'm tired, I'm a little sore. Like those are the days that are the best days because you got there and you're like, man, I did not want to come here, but I got in and I got better today.
Got some work done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, take some sweat equity. Shout out sweat equity.
Rep the
Um,
brand. You gonna make some t-shirts with
that's
that?
right. My mom said the same thing. She was like, "You got to get some apparel and
Oh, you
get
have
some."
to.
I know.
That's one
I got to
thing.
figure that out.
That's why I think we. That's one thing we should think about in the future is like just a brand. That's one, and that's what I did with the shirts. I was like, yo, I'll make you a shirt that shows that hey, I'll make this thing where it's like 10K. I'm a part
Oh,
of the
for your
10K.
shooting
Yeah,
club,
I'm in the 10K club. Shooters shoot something like that. Like something
shooter shoot.
for
Yeah,
them.
you out of pocket.
But that's just it helps the brand out. It helps it's like Clem when he made his Eat Sports stuff or his
Yeah,
the Huss Bunny shirts.
I still
Those are
got
very
mine. Do you have yours?
no, I can't find it. That
Oh,
that hurts,
boo.
dude. That was my favorite. That was my favorite shirt. That bunny with the bandana.
Yeah, man, and it was a dope little cartoon. Shout out Clem on that. I might have to get Clem on the artwork.
Uh-huh. That's Clem's thing. Like Clem, That's his thing. Did you know? Shout out Clem. He got the assistant job up at Lead for the high school.
Did he?
Yeah, so he's gonna be
That's what I
doing
like to
that.
hear.
He texted me the other day. He's like, I'm going in to meet the AD. Man, if they don't, offer me, I was like, no, don't think like that. Go in, be yourself. Tell them what you want. Be presentable. All that stuff, and you'll get what they'll mess with you because you've already made a name within the community up there. So
Love
I'm
that.
excited to
Nice
see
job,
what
Clem.
he does. Absolutely, nice job. And I know he watches
Nice
these
job.
too because he always be commenting on Facebook.
I know.
Oh,
He's
man.
always got something to say.
Uh-huh.
But that's a wrap, I think, for us.
Yeah.
We're starting to tangent off a little bit here.
We are.
So that's a good cue to reel it in.
Yep. I'm gonna try and get our guest for next week. I think he's gonna be good to go next week. A lot of people may not know him. Super low key guy. Played at BH. That's all I'm gonna give you. Like I said, super low key guy. So
super, but
it's gonna be
a wise
good
man.
one.
A wise man, nonetheless.
Absolutely.
He
knows hoops.
A quiet cat, but he's got some thoughts in that brain. So It'll be fun to pick his brain.
Absolutely. So as usual, on that note, Spotify, iHeartRadio, YouTube, Apple Podcast, like, subscribe, comment. Hall of Fame for Hills. It's a dope hat.
Thank you,
Hope
sir.
y'all have a great week. I know we had a great week.
We're going to Lincoln this weekend, so we need some dubs. Send some good vibes.
Absolutely. You pray for that man as he goes to Lincoln.
Yes, indeed.
There's some hoopers out there. But other than that, that's all I got.
We out.
Peace.